just got done watching Ahsoka episode 6. This is going to be, of course, my full spoiler review for the brand new episode. And well, we could possibly call this not Ahsoka because she was in it for like a minute and a half, getting told a story from one of the coolest droids. But what this episode very much focused on was giving us, again, spoilers, giving us the return of Thrawn, making a lot of cool things live action, and as well as the return of Ezra Bridger. It's Sabine's journey to figuring that out, as well as where did Ezra and Thrawn go all those years ago during Star Wars Rebels. We're going to talk all about that. Hello, my name is Zach. I've been absolutely loving Ahsoka. This is so far my personal favorite Star Wars show in live action thus far. I get worried coming into every week because I really am hoping that I don't get disappointed. And Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character. So I've just loved this. And this episode, nonetheless, even though we didn't get a lot of Ahsoka, that's okay. These were characters that we needed to focus in on and specifically give us Star Wars Rebels fans, where did Ezra and Thrawn go? Where's that backstory? And specifically tie into what happened with Sabine last week. So I overall think this was a great segue episode leading into episode 7 and episode 8 to really much end this entire season. And again, I'm very excited to talk all about this. So again, hit that like, subscribe, and if you're new to this channel and the Force is with you, because this is definitely the channel for you. So diving into this, starting with the start of this episode, it's Ahsoka, like I mentioned, getting told a story. She's still on her journey there, but we very much arrive to, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but very much the land of Dathomir, where all these Night Sisters live, the grandmother are. And for me to see all these witches, I think is one of the coolest things because Star Wars very much in recent memory has not touched on it in any of the shows, never touched on it in the movies, and very much has just sparingly touched on it in the video games, comics, and books. So to see this shit, and we've gotten a little bit, of course, because of Morgan Elizabeth, we've gotten a little bit of that because of her, to see the rest of this kind of all tie together, and to see that Thrawn, who if you've read his novels back in the day, canon or not canon, we know how he feels about this dark magic. It's very excellent to see that now it's being brought into live action. They're literally bringing in the dark magic from the grandmothers, from these witches. And to get that knowledge, it was great. And it was also very scary. You know, they lock up Sabine and, you know, Baylan Skoll we figure out that why has he been working for Thrawn? We find out this episode that he very much has his own schemes. There's a grander power that he himself has thus been looking for. And that grander power, we don't know. It's something that he's read as tall tales, but since the grandmothers are here, he's assuming that this power is there. And to hear his conversation with his Padawan, how he raised her to be better than the Jedi, to be better than a Boken Jedi, to be something else. Every sequence between both of them is just high altitude, amazing performances, and it makes me so much more sadder that Ray Stevenson's passed away, because I would have loved to see him continue as Baylan Skoll. I don't know if he survives the season or not, but if he does, it makes me very sad because he's excellent in the role. I didn't think he's excellent in each of those mandatories, each of those mannerisms, and I think for me, getting to hear that, no, he doesn't care about Thrawn's greater plan. He cares about whatever's on this planet, wherever they were heading, and that adds a little bit of a tidbit as they're hunting down Sabine and Ezra. They're mercenaries in some sense, but we came here for Thrawn. I mean, seeing Thrawn's grand ship just poured over them and fall in. And seeing Enoch, I love the mask on Enoch, but were those Death Troopers? I would go find the book if I could, but there's a Star Wars book where there was zombies elevated into that. And it seems like these stormtroopers could possibly be that. Again, I could be very much wrong, but they look just disgusting and gross, and that they were just servants to the Thrawn. So I don't know if it's not that, whatever. I love how these stormtroopers are looking. I love the look of Enoch, and I love Thrawn's main entrance. His reappearance was, no pun intended, grand. And, you know, you wouldn't expect that any less for Grand Admiral Thrawn, which Lars Mikkelsen returns playing the live-action role, and he is perfect for this. He was great as the voice in the cartoon, and he's fabulous in live action. Love the look. Love his little mannerisms that he gives. And also, I've been speaking about this every single week. Kevin Kiner's score is just, again, jaw-dropping. This week's episode had kind of like a horror vibe mixed with like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if you guys got those twinkles, but it was all tinkered into a Star Wars score, and I loved it because this episode had a lot of horror, kind of supernatural, scary elements to it due to the witches, due to the dark magic, due to just the eeriness of this wasteland that they are in. And I couldn't get enough of it personally. Like, just sticking on Thrawn and all the things that we got to see within there just makes me such a happy guy. And as someone who loved the books back in the day, someone who loved Star Wars Rebels, it's fabulous to have him in live action. And I cannot believe it took this long to get him here because, again, it's everything that you could want and more. He's just fantastic. And I can't wait to see what Dave Filoni and crew does with him because it's just been, again, a long time coming. Every single moment, even up until the last 2 moments he has, talking about how, like, he doesn't care if Baylan Skoll and them survive. His goal is getting off this planet and going back to that galaxy. And alongside that, his final conversation about finding out that Ahsoka Tano is probably alive and just, like, pushing the shit down his, like, grand servant that found him and saying that I need the dark magic. Like, what does that purposely bring in? That threat. And the fact that we have 2 more episodes makes me eagerly excited to see where this all goes. To see what capabilities we're going to have here. So, this excitement just continues to excite me in every sort of way. And it was fabulous. But again, that's Thrawn. We got the return of him. We also got the return of Ezra Bridger for a small little point, and I'm probably going to mispronounce the name, but Eamon Esfandi, I think, is the actor who's playing Ezra Bridger. He's great. Back. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just me. I was, like, expecting for him to show up in the same, like, Ezra gear. I know we got the little thing of him when Sabine was watching it, but I was, like, sitting there. I was, like, expecting that, not expecting a beard, and he comes in. I'm like, is that Ezra? Yeah, it's Ezra. That's awesome. I dug it. I really liked the casting choice for it, just for the little mannerisms. It did feel like a grown-up more version of Ezra Bridger. And Sabine's journey to get there was fun for the most part. I was very hesitant that, like, the bandits were going to be, like, an Ezra Bridger type thing, and I would have been like, that feels a little bit too rushed. And I'm not going to lie, I wish this episode was maybe 10 more minutes long. Like, just a tiny bit longer to just kind of show a little bit more of the wasteland, Sabine having to survive out there, maybe kind of condoning herself. Like, that's something that I would have just liked a little bit more if I was to get a little bit nitpicky on this. But, you know, her taking out the bandits was awesome. Her meeting the little, like, snail crab people, that was awesome. I like them. And I like that they, of course, they knew who Ezra Bridger were. They recognized the thing on her symbol. I like the howler that she had to go along with. And next week, again, cannot come any sooner. You know, the point of TV is that when you watch it week to week, you should be hyped and so excited to get to the next episode. And what Ahsoka has done has made me clamor. You know, I know Disney Plus isn't doing these midnight releases anymore, but if Ahsoka was at midnight, I would be eagerly excited to stay up. I would be eagerly excited and okay to lose sleep because of this show. And this is the first time honestly, and again, I've liked quite a few of the Disney Plus shows, and I've liked quite a few of the seasons, and I've even loved some stuff they've done. This is the first time where I was like, I need to watch this right as it comes out. I need to be home right after work to watch this thing the second at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time that it goes up. So, I love this shit. This is personally my favorite Star Wars live action series right now. And if it continues, it could possibly be my favorite Star Wars show of all time, even including the animation show. So thank you so much again, guys, for watching this. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below. Hit that like, subscribe, and let me know if there's any Easter eggs or any things that you noticed that you want to talk about down below. And of course, may the Force be with us all.